So you've recently started your own private practice, or you're considering starting a practice, but you're trying to figure out how you're going to get patients. Well, you're in the right spot. My name's Jamie. I'm a healthcare consultant, and I've got over 20 years of experience working with private practice physicians and med spa owners. In this video, I'm going to be guiding you through how to get more patients starting from the very beginning. There are 5 crucial steps we're going to be going over. These strategies include marketing, improving patient experience, reviews, referrals, and the 5th, you're going to have to stick around to the end of the video to find out what that's going to be. So without further ado, let's begin. The very first thing is going to be marketing. Marketing is very broad, so let's break it down to what marketing includes. The first thing you need is a solid website. This is going to be a website that's easy for your patients to navigate through. It also needs to have a good phone number at the top. You also need to have your address and what services you provide. The second thing that's included in marketing is, I would say, you need a good online presence as far as social media presence. Typically, it's going to be Instagram and Facebook. You need to have a Google My Business page because that's where patients look mostly. They'll look at other platforms, but Google's going to be your number one, and that's where they're going to look to see what your ratings are and all that kind of stuff. We'll get into more of that in the review section, but having a Google My Business page is a key factor. A few other things you can do would be having blogs and creating video content on YouTube. These things are nice to have, and if you have somebody helping you do them, that's great. If not, and it's just you, focus on the other ones that I've suggested. By doing these things, you're able to attract patients before you even open your doors because you're building an excitement and letting patients know that you're there. I even had a physician who I was working with. We got her looking really good online. She was getting referrals before she even opened her doors. So this does work. Another area you can look at doing is advertising on social media. It's a relatively cheap way to advertise, and you're able to target the exact patient that you're looking for. Let's talk about number 2, improving patient experience. Think about everything that happens to a patient before they even get to your practice and even after they leave your practice. Let's think about providing exceptional service, obviously, is a really big one. That's going to include training your staff, front desk, make sure they're happy when they greet the patient, make sure they're friendly, make sure they answer the phone with a smile, make sure they call patients back quickly. These things are super important. Another important area is how you communicate with your patients. So you absolutely need to make sure you're using some kind of software that sends out patient reminders prior to their visit. Then at the end of their visit, you can send an email saying, hey, thanks for coming, let us know how we did, and ask for reviews that way. There are services out there that can help you with this, or my company does this where we'll do it for the physician, but if you're not using a service, try to send it out yourselves. It's a great way to get more patient reviews. Your facility is also connected to patient experience. Is it clean? Is it easy to access? How much parking do you have for patients to get to? These are all things you need to think about. If it's not clean, then patients aren't going to want to be there. So make sure you have a clean environment. Number 3, reviews. Let's talk about this. Reviews are so important. Did you know that 82% of patients or people in general look online at reviews before they even go make a phone call to call your office? They're gonna look online and see what your reviews are, what patients are saying, and then they'll call the office. So patient reviews are super, super important. If you're a private practice physician, by having a lot of positive patient reviews, it's gonna offset your occasional bad one. Everybody's gonna get one. You're gonna occasionally have a patient who's upset. It's not a big deal, but that's why we have a lot of positive ones to offset the bad ones. And it's how you address it. So you need to respond to these reviews and thank them for leaving a great review, or if they've had a bad experience, say, hey, call the office, let's make it right. If you're a med spa, it's a lot more competitive and you really need to be in the hundreds. So 150 reviews or more, and you really need to be more 4.8 or higher. Okay, those are what your goals should be for having online reviews. I like to think of it this way. How often do you look online at reviews before you purchase something, before you make a reservation to eat? It's no different with patients. They're doing the same thing with you when they come to see you. So now let's talk about referrals. How can you get referrals? The first way is go see some other physicians. Go see physicians that can send you patients. Go introduce yourself. It's going to be a lot better if you do it. I know it's hard being a physician. Nobody really likes to do it. Let the front desk know that that you are a physician and you just want to introduce yourself to the staff in the back and let them know that you're new and you're taking patients and you can get them in quickly. Don't be scared to talk to the MAs and the nurses, because a lot of times those are the ones who are actually sending the referrals. So make sure if the physician's busy, say that's okay. Is there an MA I can introduce myself to? Leave your information with them. It's super important and it'll go a long way. The next thing you can think about is, how are you treating your patients? If you treat your patients well and they're happy patients lead to referrals. They're going to tell their friends, and that's going to be your best way to get referrals, is by your patients telling their friends. Something else you could think about doing is ask your patients for referrals. So you can send an email to everybody saying, hey, we hope you're happy. We would love referrals. Make sure you're telling your friends and send them our way. Don't be scared to do that. Number 5, I know you guys were super excited to learn what that's going to be. It's community engagement. It's going out and networking at events. Maybe there's events you can go do, set up a booth if you want. Make sure you have amazing promotional items. Promotional items, not just a pen and a piece of paper, but actually items that patients are going to want to keep, because when they keep it, because it's funny or they use it, and then they'll look at it when they're using it and think, oh, I do have this problem. I should call that doctor. I met them. They were great, right? So key promotional items are huge. You can also do smaller events to go out and introduce yourself to patients, but one-on-one events like that really do go a long way if you're looking to get patients. Another thing you can think about is a partnership with a local business. Maybe you're a direct primary care physician. You could actually even offer to see a certain business's staff and give them a discount for them getting subscriptions to all their staff at your clinic, things like that. But go promote yourself to local businesses and let them know how you can help. Maybe offer cash prices for certain businesses on certain things if that's, relates to you. The last thing I would say is sponsorships and advertisements. Think about local sports teams, high school teams, middle school teams. You can promote and get a sign and put them on the field. Those are really good and helpful, especially if you're a sports medicine physician or orthopedic physician, things like that. Think of other areas. Maybe you have an NBA team or an NFL team. You can promote your clinic that way. Even if it's like a local magazine, might be another good option. Magazine that you could put an ad in, maybe a half-page ad that talks about what you do, how you help, things like that. Those are really good options and ways to get yourself out there and work in your community and let them know that you're there. Now, our company works with doctors on all 5 of these strategies. We help do everything from create a website, create social media pages, make them look really good online. We help train their staff, even recruit staff if they're having a hard time with that. We do all these things to work with our physicians. So if you've recently started a practice or you're looking for ways to grow a practice, you should definitely watch this video where I talk in depth about what a healthcare consultant actually does. And if you're somebody who just wants to go ahead and meet with us, click the link in the description below and schedule a call with us. See you in the next video.